Harder Brunch presents Back to Adult Summer Camp.
Sponsored by Upland Brewing and Culinary Crossroads.
August 23rd through the 25th.
We have comedian headliners Kelly Collette and Dwight Simmons.
We got musical acts Draco, Sirius Black, Philosophy of Music, and Tuesday Atlas.
Activities like archery, canoeing, campfire, swimming, crafts. Don't forget to get your tickets at eventbrite.com.
Harder Brunch. Nope, we're not going to say that together, but it's Harder Brunch.
I'm eating brunch with my people though. The homie Dyke just cooked up a feast and we bout to eat it, bro. Fucked around and has to mix the lobster with the poutine. Daddy is rolling blue dream, them boys got down a routine. It's Naptown culture, cooking 7 courses. Had to pass the torch and now I'm grabbing second portion. So sit back, relax, grab a drink and a smoke. It's Harder Brunch on the way and get prepared for the jokes. Whoa.
Hi, and welcome to the Harder Brunch Podcast. I'm your host, Dyke Michaels. With me, as always, my co-host, Thaddaeus Mckee.
Snappy Pappy Wang Wang.
On the ones of twos, the wheels of steel, the sauce boss of Indianapolis, and the last broke dragon. Give it up for Zach Roan, everybody.
Sauce stand ready to go.
There it is.
I actually really like that one. I wanted to hate it. I came in with hate energy, but I liked it. And a very special first-time guest with us in studio, costume designer Jess West.
Hello.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Welcome. We can officially pull your picture off of the wall of shame and put it.
That's right.
Yeah. She's made a full redemption. She came and ate with us, and she's no longer on the shame wall.
Guys, I actually promised her that we would not bring that up.
I was prepared. I just
I was
prepared
like,
myself.
no one's going to bring that up. And I think we moved past it.
Officially at this point.
Yeah. It was an official.
Officially.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
been
official
a lot
stamp.
there's been a lot of stuff that we've all been through together.
Yeah.
Since
True. We've
3
blossomed.
years ago.
Like what?
Well, there's that adult summer camp. The beat cake competition.
Yes.
Jess West has been the face behind the scenes.
The meat cake. Yeah.
Behind the
You were the
cakes.
face behind
Yeah.
the meat cake.
We got
Behind some
the
events,
pants
yes.
done. Yeah.
Wherever there's a brunch event, you could guess maybe Jess West is just less than a mile away.
Less
than a mile
Literally
away.
now. Literally
Yeah.
now.
I think like a block away.
Yeah.
0.3 miles.
Did you walk over here?
0.3 miles. I drove.
Come on.
I didn't know. I'm wearing a cute outfit, so I was like, I'll drive. But then I typed in the GPS and I was already out of my driveway. I was like, it's 0.3 miles, so I'll just still drive.
Oh, you were like thinking about getting kidnapped in a cute outfit. You're thinking like you don't want to get dirty.
Yeah.
She didn't want to cause a stir in the neighborhood, honestly.
Yeah, like,
It rained. I have long pants on. I want to get them all dirty.
being catcalled in Irvington would probably be the scariest.
Yeah.
A
Well,
lot of
yeah.
witches. Grim ghouls.
There are some ghouls. There are some loose ghouls in Irvington.
You look like hell in a good way. All right, I'm done.
So, for those of you that don't know, we already know you. You're a friend. This is not like a first time interview. But for the people at home that don't know you, I would say I knew you. I was telling Thad this the other day because I was like, I've known Jess West since like Blackacre first opened. Because he used to come in there a lot, and then were you already designing? You've been consistently designing costumes, but you had a different full time. Like I think I remember around the time you went full time doing it.
Yeah, because I used to work in a lot of restaurants and bars and stuff like that, and then I went full time after like the Chewbacca article came out. But I did stuff for the Blackacre. I did like a crown or something like that for them, like a really spooky thing for this girl named Holly.
Yeah.
She hired me to make some stuff for there. It's been a long time since I thought about that. I've made so many things I forget about some.
Oh, I bet. And the Chewbacca, like, because I was showing somebody your website. I was talking about the cake, this brunch we were doing.
Yeah.
And I showed them Chewbacca, and they were like, "Oh, that's like a real thing."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she actually does. Real things.
Yeah, I actually make monsters.
Do you remember what year that was that you were in the news for that?
I think it was like 2015, I believe. So yeah, it's crazy. I was wearing Chewy at PopCon the other day, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, this costume is 9 years old. That's wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you were like saying that like that was a big jump off point. Like once.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that was just a paper article, right? Was it?
Yeah, it was Indie Star. Yeah, and they said they were going to do an article. I thought, oh, that's really cool. And then I went to go pick it up, and I'm like on the front cover, and there's 3-page spread. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it changed your life.
It did.
That's crazy.
It's like those old movies. That's when the phone started ringing, and people are like, "I want one now." And
Yeah.
I want to get in the Jess West business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, see you later, Patachoo.
Yeah.
That Jess West, she's so hot right now. Jess West, so hot. And so then you just go into business for yourself. You're making these costumes. Like, obviously, because I had a friend who used to own a costume shop. Obviously, like Halloween, they're like the Halloween and the big holidays and stuff like that. But I feel like you do a lot of like you were saying, you go into like horror hound weekends and stuff like that. Enter in a lot of competitions. Like, keep yourself busy in a way that's like seems interesting.
Yeah. It's always fun to spice it up and like learn new things about things that you don't know how to make or do, or just other groups of people that are doing things that streamline with what you like to do too, especially at those events.
Is there something, okay, so like with musicians, if you have like perfect key, like they're like, that's like a very high, or that's something that people want to have, like they could listen to something and play it back. Would you say you have perfect key or perfect tune with costume design? Would people call you a genius in that, since you could make anything that you see?
I mean, I genius is wild to think of, but I mean, I think I'm a little bit of a MacGyver. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So not genius, but like you can figure it out.
Yeah.
Like has their GED, but but you think there's more.
Crafty.
Well, it's like I always dream up these ideas in my brain that are like sound really good. I'm like, shit, I got to figure out how to actually make that.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I have the idea parts down, but the turning them into anything, like I was even kind of like this, because like we were talking about some of the brunch stuff. I was like, man, I'd like to do something technical, and I was like, the last thing I want to do is just like serve a pile of shit to someone who makes aesthetically pleasing things for a living. And so I was just like, okay, I got to work with what I can actually pull off here.
I gotcha. Like that meat cake. I think that like we have to talk about that. You guys made a dragon that should have won the best cake in the meat cake competition.
Yeah.
But I think the judges don't like you guys. We probably need to find
I
new
was
judges.
shocked. I was like, really?
Those judges, I think, had bad taste. And I'm kidding. I don't know. Come back.
I like the part where we besmirch our own judges.
Well,
I think it's
guys.
the opposite. I think that I've proven now that even though I picked the judges, they're not doing me any favors.
So now if you win, you know it's legit.
Yeah.
That is kind of nice. So we have to kind of stick with the same judges?
No, I mean, there's been a different
we've changed
variation of judges every time.
What are the criteria they based it on?
This year was taste, creativity,
Theme.
theme.
You don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about...
We didn't do well on theme, by the way. How? Right?
I wore a Daenerys costume and a puppet dragon.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, to match. Like, if we
felt
were in theme.
But yeah, there was, I think we got a 3 of 5 on theme. And that didn't make any sense to me.
Also, it's a thing, too, where it's like, I feel like as much as we did want to win, and I feel like I think our job is to set the bar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? More so, because like, and then if you win, it's like, well, yeah, you won your own contest.
Let me ask this. Was Alan Sternberg one of the judges?
He was.
Yeah.
Well, I think maybe he was just a little bit butthurt. He didn't win the first time. And so he was like,
It was
See how it
Revenge of the
feels.
Sternberg.
Yeah,
That
Revenge
makes
of
a
the
lot
Sternberg.
more sense than
See
we
how it
did it
feels to
bad.
lose.
So you're just saying in a
Yeah.
public forum now.
Yes, he would have liked to have the best cake and lose.
Because
Is
he
that
did
the one that
also
won?
express interest in participating next year.
Yeah. Oh, now that you guys have...
Yeah.
Okay, falling on your faces because of
That
him.
makes sense. No, I was so thrilled by
there it is.
the dragon in general and the whole thing that I don't think you can win your own competition. Like I feel like it's really fun to do the competing, but I think eventually we're gonna have to just do something like maybe make a centerpiece.
You'd be the showpiece.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I mean I wouldn't even want to win our own competition.
Yeah.
Well, that's like if I'm gonna host like a costume contest, like I can't get in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Guess I
would
won
destroy
again.
them.
And I've won enough of the meat cakes that I feel like I can,
Well, and we've talked about this a lot in February afterwards, but the dragon was amazing, and we brought just a very kind of loose idea to you, like we want to make a meat dragon in some sort of castle, and the size and shape of it changed, and I'm looking at the thing now, and I'm still so pleased with how that turned out. Like when I first saw it, when you'd put the meat flesh on it and put the eyes in and stuff, it was just like, okay,
You can see it.
yeah, I can see it now, because it's hard for me to even imagine. Even the guy that came up with the idea, it was hard to imagine what it actually
That's the
looks
thing.
like.
It's a thing. Like I can see a project before it's done. I will know exactly, but it does alter. Like that's the best part about if you're making something, you cannot get stuck in like this is exactly what it's going to be like. You have to let it guide you into like the particular design.
What were the teeth made out of?
It's foam. They're a foam, and then we covered it with the what was that stuff called the
nuda or nuda.
yeah, and then I hand laid like different strips like to do like colored variations like to give like structure to like the jawline and stuff like that. And then I even took a torch and torched the pepperonis on the top so they kind of curled and looked spiked like the horns on the top of its head. It was really neat.
Was it your idea to have the fog machine, or
No, that was theirs.
that was Zach's?
No, that was
Yeah.
that part like so I did the structure of the basic shape of the head and neck, and then the tubing and the whatever, coming up with the dry ice portion of it.
Okay.
I wanted to take a butane torch and shoot flames out the mouth.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, originally
And it was like we
yeah.
were thinking about that, but like that's kind of aggressive. I get it. The smoke looked really good, or the dry ice looked really good.
Because you can't burn your customers. You could freeze them. You get like a little dry ice burn, but you don't want to burn them. Because that happens at different events. People get burnt.
I mean, yeah, we could have done some fire out of the mouth, but it probably would have been, because you can also get fireworks that are made for cakes that are for that are basically a sparkler that are for dragon cakes and stuff.
So you accidentally Alec Baldwin someone.
Well, yeah, it would probably give off a lot of smoke inside or something.
So you had a studio on the west side, and how long had you been there?
So
It was like a home studio.
yeah, kind of backstory. So it's like a condo that I lived in, and my whole living room was just full of monsters, and I would work out there. But I used to have a big shop on the east side, and the pandemic happened. I got hired to work for Cirque du Soleil, and so I canceled my lease. I'm like, I'm going to be. I was hired to be the costume coordinator for their cruise ship lines.
Okay.
So I was going to be sailing through Northern Europe and the Caribbean for 7 months at a time. I'm like, I don't need a shop, so I got rid of my lease. And then April 20th, I was supposed to leave of the pandemic, and I didn't get to go because of the COVID.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so then I started working from home because I'm like, I don't know if anybody's going to need costumes because like we
Yeah,
can go to
COVID
the
wasn't
grocery
really.
store.
Yeah,
Like,
COVID wasn't a costume heavy time.
No, not at all. I was freaking out. And so I've been working from home for several years, and now I just got a new place in Irvington, so I'm super pumped about it.
You're this close to being touring around with a circus. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna literally.
Cirque du
So
Soleil.
I had never applied for like a quote unquote big girl job at all. I made a resume and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna see if I can apply for Cirque du Soleil, and got it immediately.
Wow.
Do you remember what
Yeah.
the salary was going to be?
I think they were gonna give like $70K for like 7 months. Like it
I
was
love
gonna
how
be
open she is about money.
like. I mean, I was like, that's great. That sounds
Yeah.
great because we didn't have to really like pay for
Yeah,
rent or anything. We
Making
get to eat on like
$70K when you have no other expenses is great.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
fantastic.
literally zero. And we'd eat all these like nice dinners, and then like we'd only do like 2 shows a night, and then when we weren't working, we could get off the boat wherever we were at and go explore. Like it was the dream job.
Zach did that for a number of years.
It wasn't on cruise ships; it was charter boats out in the Caribbean. Yeah, and it was wonderful because
Yeah.
you didn't have any expenditures.
And how much were
Yeah.
you making? Just kidding. You can say if you want.
I forget. It was like $2,000 a week or something like that.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
We played this game last time Jess was on. We played this game. It was like truth or dare, or wait, take a drink or tell the secret.
Oh.
And we asked how much was in her bank account. I'm not gonna say. You have to go listen to the episode, but it's something after brunch. And we made her say how much she had in her bank account. She said it like that. And I think the more you have in your bank account, the more you're comfortable saying
The quicker you say that number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. I feel very uncomfortable talking about my bank account.
I was like, really? You don't have to. And she did. I was like, oh, okay. Well,
Whatever.
it was nice, people. If you guys want to know, check out that episode.
And then I want to get into Monsters Inc. But before that, you do this really cool thing with putting X-rays onto records.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Because
Yeah.
this was I've never seen or heard anything like this before.
I don't think anybody has. I haven't really pushed it hard to sell it. I think I'm going to start doing it in the storefront that I just got. But John Larner is a close friend of mine, owner of Patron Saint, and he was telling me something about these things called bone records, because I make handbags out of vinyl records just in general, things that are scratch vinyl bags. So if they're messed up records, you can make handbags out of them. But he's like, have you heard of something called a bone record? I'm like, no, what is that? So it's I don't forget where it was, but it was basically bootleg, illegal rock and roll. They would make it over in I think the Soviet
Russia.
Union.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they would make, they would take x-rays and make records on them.
So I went and ordered one.
Oh, yeah.
Based on you telling me this story. It got sent from Russia to, because it's Russian folk music and stuff like that. You can get other reproductions of famous stuff on records, but the old ones are, and I ordered it and it came all the way here and then it got sent back. So and I had to pay to have it shipped once more back out here. So I haven't even seen it yet, but I'm super
excited to
stoked
see
about
it.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Well, and so I didn't want to take historical pieces like that and actually mess them up and turn them into the bags. So I took vinyl records and cut them out and put x-rays in them and then backlit them so you can turn them on. The bags turn on.
Oh, so you kind of created your own.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because I wouldn't want to mess up that history like that, but to make something kind of of my own version. Yeah.
I wonder if the people knew that their x-rays were being used to be turned into vinyl.
Well, no, I think it was a thing where that's something that it was kind of plastic that they had laying around that was being trashed, so they would take it and make their
They would
bootleg
dumpster
stuff
dive
on
for
it. Yeah.
them.
So I doubt anybody knew that it was being used.
Mm-hmm.
But you could just imagine, hey, that's my rib cage.
It looks very similar. Jess, did you get a chance to have any coffee when you were upstairs?
No, I didn't.
Did we not offer her the coffee?
Well, I was.
We have some-
I was drinking the lemon shake up.
We have some of the best coffee. It's from Tinker Coffee.
Oh.
And they can deliver straight to your door, Jess. So if you missed out, I apologize. But you can get a coffee subscription. You have Tinker Coffee delivered to your door. And if you use promo code BRUNCH, you get 25% off.
Okay.
That's crazy. Sorry, I thought I saw you drinking
Because
coffee.
your host might not give you Tinker Hot Coffee, but you can give it to yourself, and that's the real gift.
The real gift is... No, we actually had a lot going on today because...
Wait, am I the coffee guy?
I mean, you
Did you
seem to
see
be...
how he just shoved that off to me?
I don't think anybody said anything. You kind of got guilty there, though.
No, he did this one thing man, you didn't offer her coffee?
25% off.
To your door.
To your door.
To your door.
No one else is going to give it to you.
Not bad.
Not over here.
Maybe Thad will deliver it.
Tinker is so good you keep it for yourself. That's how good it is. I don't share with guests anymore. I don't care about being rude.
It's fine.
But you said you were drinking some of the lemon shake up from our friends at High and Mighty.
Yes.
They were so nice to donate some product, and we'll talk about that a little bit when we get into the dessert. But man, I just had this rainbow refresher that they make, and it's so good. I've been waiting 6 months to try some of their new flavors. They have, I don't think it was that peach.
Yeah, this is peach.
So what's the rainbow taste like? Isn't that still a wash?
Yeah, it's a bubbly cocktail.
I see new mascots is what I see.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh yeah. Let's talk about that, shall we? Because you made the Lemmy costume from them.
Yeah.
Which is he's a fun walking around lemon, and when they were on, they were telling us about how in the costume the mascot doesn't have any arms, so. You asked.
Yeah, I was like, what are we going to do about that? What do you want to do?
No, it's fine. And he said that at beer festivals, he has to take it off after a certain point because people start getting little handsy and aggressive.
Start trying to juice the lemon.
He start trying to squeeze his lemons, and there's no way to like
Defend himself. It's the funniest / not funniest thing.
Yeah.
Well, like anytime you're in a costume and being assaulted, like the assault is a little funnier. Yeah. And I'm sorry if that offends some clowns out there. I know we have a big clown base, but it's true. It's a little bit funnier.
There is a thing of like drunk people plus mascot. You don't have humanity anymore. I mean, you just like
So I have a Gizmo costume.
oh no.
Oh,
And my friend Josh Kirk wore it to this party called Night Train that Ben Jackson used to throw at the Hi-Fi. And he went out into the dance floor in this Gizmo costume, and he came back and he had lipstick all over the front of that costume. Girls were making out with the Gizmo.
With Gizmo?
They were just, like lipstick all over my costume. I'm like, that's nice, great. I hope that comes out.
I didn't know
I thought it was
Gizmo
hilarious.
was that type of guy.
He came back there. He's like, oh, I was getting blessed out there. I was dying.
There is something about costumes and stuff where it's just like you become a character, you become a creature, and people forget that there's like a human inside there.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
You know,
like
I was wearing a Grinch costume. So at Christmas time, I'll like just go out randomly in my Grinch costume. And I was out playing pool in Bloomington, and this like 23-year-old kid's like, what do you look like under there?
Oh wow.
I was dying.
His shot is shot.
Oh yeah, he got me drinks all night.
I mean, there's got to be, Santas that get the Sack Santa Society. Like, like anybody that's in costume has been abused a little bit.
there should be like a meeting. Like y'all sit in a circle with your costumes. My costume didn't even have any arms. I couldn't defend myself. I don't know.
the not having any arms is the funniest part.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's Grinchy.
Yeah, he's so happy. It's like, no, that's a guy that's gonna get
Touched.
he's gonna get touched. He's having too much fun.
Oblivious.
Or the fact that to know, like, okay, I can wear this the first hour, I can wear this the second hour, and at some point in the third hour, I have to take it off because there's a turn.
Because you would think that being like too hot or uncomfortable would limit that.
It's a
But
challenge for my job.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Because I have to straight up tell people, I'm like, look, you can either look super legit or you can be comfortable.
Right.
You choose, because really don't coincide. Like you're going to be uncomfortable. I mean, do you think I'm comfortable in drywall stilts and,
Sure.
30 pounds of hair? Like, no, it's not easy to wear.
There needs to be some type of mascot whistle, like just in case that happens.
Oh.
You see?
A lot of
Yeah.
times you can put fans in them and stuff like that to help with cooling. And Chewbacca, I wear like a vest that I made that I put ice packs in for my core to keep me cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What's the the idea of walking? Because sometimes in the Halloween fest of the past couple of years, it's been damn near hot, and so like I see people walk around with a full costume, and I'm like, they have to just be
It's work.
dripping in sweat.
Yeah.
I had a costume commissioned by a friend of mine when I worked at Blackacre, and it was the full zombie dust, like Zombie King, and like she like made the mask and like this suit that had like muscles and like
Who was it?
Sheila Ferguson. But it also had like wings that it was like she had made like coat hanger like sculpted wings with like kind of like a pantyhose thing over it.
Yep.
And so I put this whole thing on, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna work the Halloween festival in this. And then it was the dumbest idea ever, because it was like every time I turned around, my wing would slap one of my coworkers in the face.
Oh yeah.
And it was 1,000,000 degrees, and it was just bulky, and it was just like I tried to serve with the mask on, and I couldn't see because I couldn't have my glasses on, so I'd be like bumbling up to people's like table and stuff. And it was
Yeah, the
like,
wings they'll get you. That's why the Jeepers Creepers costumes I made, they have a pulley system so my wings can open and close. You know what I mean? So you can get through the crowd. Plus it's like a cool effect, like whack.
I wish I had a picture of it, but my mom, who never really made anything crafty her whole life, but designed a costume for me when I was like in 4th grade. She made this like, it was like Baxter Stockman. It was like a Ninja Turtle bad guy who was like a fly mad scientist, and like did like foam feet. So I had like 2 like fly feet, and like painted my face and like did the wings and everything. But we didn't take pictures of everything. Like I have like 5 pictures from my childhood. Like my whole life wasn't on Facebook.
It wasn't as common now. You know what I mean?
But there's something about dressing up. I remember I one time went to, it was like Halloween at the zoo or something like that, and I was Dracula, and my mom had a friend who had to like put all this special stuff because I had like really curly hair, and so she had to bring all this special stuff. Like it just basically made a helmet of hair that so I wanted slicked back hair. I wanted to be Dracula. And they're like, we don't know how to do that with your hair. So my mom like literally like had to call her black friend and be like, I don't know how to do that. And then she was like, came over and she just put like all this stuff in my hair. And then it just, by the end of the day, it was just a shell. It was just a hard, like you could, like a helmet shell, but it was all slicked back. And then I just walked around, didn't say anything, just was in character the whole day. And it was just like, oh my God, it's so much fun. It's weird that you like sometimes you grow out of that and then sometimes you don't. You're like,
oh yeah, never
like I feel like everyone in Irvington doesn't grow out of that.
No, and you'll be surprised. It brings people back. Like 'cause people come into Monsters Inc. and a lot of the most common thing people say, they're like, I feel like a kid in here. Like this is fun.
The nostalgia trip.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Monsters Inc. because you moved back into the heart of Irvington. I mean, you are right there.
Yeah, I'm in the Masonic Lodge, the 666 building, right on the corner. Yeah, it's we have 3,500 square feet, and the upstairs for now it's like a costume shop during the day. I have like some stuff that I've like had for events and things that I'm selling on the racks. I work in there, and then at night it transforms into an event center. So we've had drag shows, comedy shows, magic shows, and we're looking to do all kinds of fun events this summer. So I'm very
dance
excited about
parties.
it. Yeah, dance parties. Yeah.
You have like DJs come in and
Yep,
battle.
we
things.
have Freaky Friday. Every Friday night we have a dance party from 9:30 to 2 a.m. It's a good time.
You can get some alcohol there as well.
Yeah, beer and wine.
Beer and wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, beer and wine.
It's
such a fun time.
It's so cool, and already like hearing you were telling us during brunch about some of your plans for the Halloween season. And like changing the rooms and like having like different stuff going on. But even now, like even right when it kind of started, it was just like so much cooler than it already. Like the building is cool.
Yeah.
And then once you like moved all your stuff, it was like, oh wow, like all right, she put her touch on this. And then to watch it actually like grow and evolve. What's it like going from like someone who just had to be kind of focused on like constructing and creating costumes to now you're in the event business, you know, like it's costumes plus, you know.
It's really fun, and it's kind of ironic. Like, you know, it's like I said, I was in the service industry for a really long time before. So it's kind of like a natural transition for me to kind of go into that.
Yeah.
And I love, you know, dressing up and going to fun events, and I have a lot of drag queen friends and comedian, you know, like I have like all these artist friends. So it's just like really sweet to have a house that we can all play in.
Yeah.
It's like a clubhouse for artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put a clubhouse for artists.
It is. I'm trying to find the strangest of the strange and the best of the best and the funniest of the funniest people to come in and be part of it.
And you got Smashburger right across the street.
Yeah, yeah. It's the first time I was telling you at brunch that it's the first time that I've ever seen all of my personal costumes like hung up on the ceiling. They're all
really?
they're all in like big test fishing lines, so they look like they're floating on the ceiling.
Yeah.
In the gallery.
Yeah.
And then we have a group of artists that have come in. I've kind of just like adopted all these people that build haunted houses and stuff, and other artists that just kind of work with me over the Halloween season and stuff like that. And we've been like building this place out and making it really sweet on the inside. Like we have different sets and theme. It's called Frankenstein furniture, because we're upcycling like Goodwill Outlet stuff and old furniture and giving it new life. And so we have like VIP sections for all of our shows, and we have Phantom of the Opera, Ed Gein's Living Room, Hocus Pocus, and Beetlejuice currently.
How do you, with all the different projects and stuff you have going on, like how do you do your time management? Because I feel like,
well,
you have your fingers in a lot of pies. You do a lot of stuff.
I do, and I'm learning to delegate. And it's really like hard to like let that cord go. You know what I mean? Like cut that cord and like delegate to like have people help you and do stuff like that. But it's actually been very rewarding. It's like a giant puzzle piece, right? We all put all the pieces together, and it's really neat to see what we all come up with. Because some of the people that are in there, the artists, like they do stuff that I don't know. You know what I mean? It's pretty awesome.
When you're working on a costume, is it usually just your hands on it, or is there?
No, to be really honest with you. So it used to be, and now I've time management wise, like there's certain things on costumes that are monotonous, right? So like if I've got to put like 100 rhinestones on something, I will have somebody do that for me. Right. But like the stylizing, the ends of it, like I have a girl, Tyla, she's a builder, right? She does the structures and everything and kind of gets it all set up for me, like with my design, and we kind of work on it together. And then I'll come in and like finesse it and make it look really like fine tune it in the end. And I'll do a lot of the sculpting and painting and like the finer details of stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like you had a whole crew. I remember when you were building it, like you guys were up day and night.
Listen, like 16-hour days. Yeah, I was sleeping at Monsters Inc. a few nights a week.
Yeah, just building the set, and it looked awesome afterwards. Like you have like before and after pictures, like.
Yeah, I have some like as a progress as we went.
Yeah.
But we did it all in like a month.
Dang.
Wow.
Because they gave us, they were like, hey, the landlord was really cool. And she's like, you can move in like mid-March, but we won't start charging rent until April. So I had 2 weeks. I'm like, let's get it. Those 2 weeks to kind of like, because come up with rent every month. I'm like, holy crap, that's all, Yeah. So.
Well, it looks awesome. It's also like super like comfortable in there. It's like it's fun to chill in there. Just like
that's why I like the living room sets, because it's basically just like a giant oversized living room. And a lot of those chairs, they were like $2, $5, whatever at the Goodwill. But like for example, Ed Gein's living room, he's a notorious serial killer that made furniture out of people's skin and what. So like we would if there's like crappy patches or things like that, there's all the fur and there's teeth on that chair and blood. Like it was a good time.
Speaking about having good times, you said you have alcohol there. Do you have any upland?
I don't have an upland yet. We've just got a very kind of a small run right now. And then once we get into our bigger regular events, we have some Ash and Elm and some Daredevil, and I forget what else. We've got a bunch of stuff that we just kind of put in there.
Let me just tell you.
Is it good?
It's good. It's good beer. You like it, Dyke? Mm-hmm. Have you ever had upland?
I'm about to crack open this patio cat right now, actually.
There you go. Crack it open with me.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, I'm going to drink it again.
No, the patio cat is a great summertime. It's one of my favorite summertime beers. This in the campsite.
Not mine. Mine's the pedal kettle.
Yep. What do you like about it?
The pedal kettle?
Yeah.
Or the pedal to the kettle? Pedal to the kettle.
You don't have to read it,
No, I was just saying what the name was.
So,
Yeah, pedal to the kettle. It reminds me of that, the one of the other beers that they have, Breaking Away. I like how they keep with their bike themes in Bloomington.
You just like the bike themed beers?
Yep.
Okay. On that note, let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
This week on the After Brunch Podcast.
I like the idea that she posts like a story on her Instagram with like a blurred out face, and that's just the caption, like a Snapchat.
Betty Spaghetti. Well, you remember Betty Spaghetti, right? You ever play with Betty Spaghetti?
Oh yeah, those bendy bitches.
Bend them in, the bendy. You put them in whatever position you want.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, they're like these little.
It's even worse.
They're like these stretchy toys.
Oh no!
Yeah.
We turned her into that.
The legs go behind the head. They're like acrobatic.
Join us at patreon.com/Harder Brunch.
Welcome back. We're talking with Jess West.
Oh my God, that sounds so bad.
What a transition.
Wow.
Having a great time.
Aren't we? Aren't we though?
Jeepers creepers. Jeepers.
Yeah, well, let's talk about what we have for lunch and time for the Smoking Goose brunch breakdown. Smoking Goose, located at 407 Dorman Street. We have so much Smoking Goose loaded into this week's menu. We'll talk about it as we go through it, but I definitely spent some time there buying some product this week. Checking out a lot of the stuff they have. Man, they have their freezer section is so filled right now. You can go and they have these box specials where you can fill up a box and get a bunch of stuff. I highly recommend checking it out. Get a lot of high-end quality meats at a bargain price with their freezer special. We made this menu, Masquerade Brunch, in honor of costumes that you have designed. So we went through your Instagram and started looking backwards through your portfolio. I knew some of them offhand, and then I was just like, let's just take a look, because obviously I was like, I knew Chewbacca and the Grinch and Gizmo, and then I'd be like, oh, but like she also did like this sandworm. She also did this. And I was just like, I remember there were the half alien, half predator.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, let's just look at the Instagram.
There's a wide range.
Yeah, then I was like,
range.
oh, well, we have more than we're going to be able to do here. And then the idea was to take a costume that you had designed and then, make something inspired from that.
It was wonderful.
The first costume was your the sandworm from Beetlejuice. And it was in your old apartment, and it was like,
yeah,
it was just too big for a regular room.
Oh, I know, right? It was aggressive. That's what people don't understand. My whole house had monsters hanging on the ceiling.
Like now that you own a costume shop, like everything makes sense in there. But when it was in your house, it was like she's just getting smothered by this.
I loved it though. It made me so sad when I took it all out of my house. I was like, what am I gonna do? Well, my stuff is gone.
It was a tiny little museum. Oh yeah, do you still live in that? There?
No, I've got a house now over here at Irvington too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
You're
I can walk to work today. It's great.
Full-on Irvingtonian.
I am.
That would be interesting if like it was my first time being to your house or something like that. Like maybe like let's say you're hanging out and the guy's like, hey, I'm gonna drop you off, and you're like, hey, do you need to use the bathroom or whatnot?
Yeah.
And he comes in the house and he's like,
Jeepers Creepers is hanging above my bed.
like,
I gotta get out of here.
Like, I gotta go.
I purposely did that. I thought that was hilarious.
Is that a skin sofa? I gotta leave. As soon as I see
Are
this,
those teeth? Yes, they are.
As soon as I see the Ed Gein couch, I'm out.
That's enough for you to leave.
I'm not waiting to hear that she's a costume designer.
I like to watch people about to sit on that. They're like, should I sit on that? I'm like, it's not going to stain, I promise.
Like, what is that supposed to be? Oh, skin and blood.
Is that hair? Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
Ooh, his lamps had hair on it. I never even thought about that.
And sometimes they had nipples.
Yeah.
To make it out of the nipple skin. The first course was based on Beetlejuice, and I was thinking about the scene where they're having the dinner party and their shrimp cocktails come to life and like turn into like shrimp hands and pull them down.
The best.
So I drove to the west side of Saraga and for hunt of the biggest shrimps that I could find.
They're huge.
And like there was actually two different kinds, because those big ones were like, I think they were like $30 a pound. Like they were crazy. And so I got like 1 pound, and I was like, maybe the next one down. I don't know.
Do we count the shell for the weight?
Yeah, this is it. Yeah.
Do we count the eyeballs?
But it's crazy. Have you been on Saraga? Like
yes.
They got the big tanks, and there's just like
it's wild
fish and everything down there. And so it's just like my least favorite place to go to hungover, because it's just like smells from around the world. And you're just like, oh.
So you picked the shrimp.
Yeah.
They were alive.
No. Like there's fish tanks with fish, but the shrimp they were fresh, but they were not alive.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So if you might know, I was looking at lobsters the other day, and I was thinking to myself, like, why do they boil them alive? What's the purpose of that? Like,
I mean, I honestly think historically it was thought of as a quick way to do it, but the way I was taught to do it in culinary school was you take a knife and then you go through the brainstem, and it's just
painless, right? They're not screaming; they're screaming. Like,
it's just instantaneous.
So messed up.
Now I guess the flavor would leak out once you crack.
That's what I was wondering. Maybe they couldn't do that because it would change it.
The flavor's fine, and I've heard different people, like experts, talk about how that's not an action. It's not necessarily a scream; that it's a sound that their shells make when they blah blah whatever. And then
what's your way in on that, Zach?
I wonder
it's just the air being forced through their scream cords that makes it sound like they're screaming. But it's an illusion.
Yeah,
they're already dead, but their scream centers are being activated.
No, Peter, that's their shell.
It's just jiggling the suffering parts of their brain.
Holy crap, it's hot! I don't know.
How to kill a lobster.
That's the way I was taught, because they're also brain isn't where you think it would be.
Yeah, you gotta hit him in the sand sack.
you gotta go low in the body, and like I will tell you this, like but doing that, I've never murdered anyone, but it feels like a murder. You're killing something. Like you start off with something that's alive, and then by the end you're like, and it's like I wanted to do a good job, so I didn't want it to like suffer. But I didn't get it on the first go.
Yeah, they still jerk.
Yeah, and so it's just like it's the thing. So maybe people like if you're doing that 10 at a time, you know what I'm saying? I can see it just like throw them in the pot, you know. But like for me, I've only killed humanely killed lobsters. But I think it's like part of I don't know. I don't go into a whole thing, but like I feel like if you eat meat, you should be aware of how
it screams,
how it gets there. You know, it's just like there is a thing of just like, you know, would I be able to kill this animal if I was like on a desert island and I needed to survive, you know, kind of thing. And we get so disconnected from our food sources sometimes. I was just like, with the lobster, I was just like, okay, this is how you do it, you know, like, and then I started killing bigger animals. Well, like, I feel like I'm a city boy. Zach grew up on a farm, and how many different animals have you killed?
7.
I mean, like just different animals. I mean, dozens.
Yeah, like all the farm animals.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, we killed hogs. We killed sheep.
Bear.
No, no. We've killed cows. You know, chickens. I don't think we've done ducks or.
I mean,
donkeys or anything, but
I went over to his house and we fabricated like an entire like cow. Right? It was like it wasn't just a side of beef. It was a whole.
There was a whole thing.
It was a whole cow. Yeah. It was just like a cow minus the head and guts.
Yeah.
And we just had like cranes and just heavy lifting.
It's a wild process to do, but like I also kind of like I feel okay with it because I know that I can do that. Like I think there's a certain respect. I have more respect for somebody who says like I'm a vegan because I don't want to, you know, fuck with animals at all than I do for somebody who says I want to eat whatever and I don't want to see the bone. You know, like you know, if you're gonna eat meat, then I think you ought to at least pay homage to what you're doing.
Would you like to kill an animal with us?
We could make a whole ritual. It'd be fun. It'd be a good time.
I'll make a prop. How about that?
You design our cloaks that we wear for the ritual.
We'll do it in the basement of Monsters Inc.
And then, that's a perfect lead into the next dish, which is Jeepers Creepers ramen. I had a lot of different ideas. I wanted something that looked almost kind of like I knew I wanted an eyeball in there, and I wanted like different kinds of like flesh kind of looking thing. I was thinking about doing a meat turnover kind of thing at first, and then I was just like, I've been wanting to do ramen for a while.
It was great too.
And I was like, oh, I can put all the different kind of meat on top, and then the eyeball, and then because I was like making it, and then like Zach came in, and he goes, "How is this Jeepers Creepers ramen?" He goes, "Looks like you got a nice bowl of ramen there." But and then I was like explaining like how in the movie he reconstitutes himself out of other people, and I felt like I don't know. I felt like it kind of came through on the.
No, I got it immediately.
Okay.
No, and it was very good. The broth was really good, and then all the meat. I feel like it was a meat heavy ramen. And
the prosciutto in there, the nice, the saltiness. That's what was it. Yeah, what was on the onions?
What was on the onions? They were just pickled
onions,
red onion. But you know, get that. They were pretty fresh, so they're pretty vinegary.
So good,
nice vinegar in there. I think I just want to play around with ramen I think we should do at some point just like a whole ramen maybe
brunch.
a ramen pop up.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Something. I don't know, but I really want to get it dialed in before then because I feel like I got a long way to go.
I'll do a dessert ramen.
What's a dessert ramen?
I have no idea.
We can call it Raw-mania.
Yeah. Yeah, Wrestle Romania. I got it. We're going to do it. Wrestle Romania is going to be a thing.
Everybody's going to be a different ramen wrestler.
Yep.
With their shirts off.
Yep.
Or appropriately covered spots.
Nope, shirts off.
You can't go backwards with shirts off.
Well, I was trying to have it be woman friendly.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
yeah, guys.
Thank you.
Me too is what I was trying not to have said.
I love that you went with Jeepers Creepers. That's one of my favorite costumes that I've done.
Really?
Yeah. That was the funnest thing ever. I was walking around Irvington in that, and everybody thought I was a dude. I scared the shit out of everybody.
When you took your head off?
Just in general, walking up to people. I was terrifying in that costume.
Like, hey, man, you can't wear that. Oh, hi.
It was legit. And we went to the after party at the Irvington like Halloween Festival after party, and I was like dancing all hot, and people were like confused.
That dude is dancing really
Jeepers
sexy.
Creepers has a booty.
Jeepers Creepers and twerk. I'm having feelings about Jeepers Creepers.
People standing around watching, they were obsessed with it. It was great. My sister was in Jackal from 13 Ghosts, and I'm in Jeepers Creepers. It was pretty great.
Man. Didn't we say we wanted to have Jess do our Ninja Turtles if we did the Ninja Turtles?
Yeah,
I'm sure we
I'm on
did.
board.
What were we talking about having Ninja Turtles for?
For Halloween last
Okay.
year.
Well, as
Ninja
being,
Turtles
as
1 or
being the
2?
Ninja Turtles. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm Donnie.
I'm Raphael.
What? No. What? You're not Raphael.
I'm definitely
He's not
Raphael.
Raphael.
You're
You're
obviously
Mikey.
Michelangelo.
You're Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
What?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Raphael.
You're the party dude. You like to eat pizza. You're always talking about how much it's pizza time. Can I get 2 more pizzas? It's pizza time.
That's not me.
Grab me
I'm
another
more.
slice.
If I'm anything, I'm Splinter.
No, no, you're not.
I'm
That's
a
Master
a
veto.
Shredder.
That's a veto all the way down.
Who's that?
You're not Master Splinter.
Is Chris King Splinter?
Eh,
I don't know. I haven't watched.
I don't know. He's
Do you like Ninja Turtles 1 or 2? I like number 2.
Oh, hot take. 3?
Really?
Get the fuck out of here.
No.
Your garbage
When
opinion.
is the last time you've seen this? Because first, they finally get the costumes down.
Yeah.
In number 3. They finally get the costumes down, and it's not bad. It's not. I think it's better than 1. 1 was garbage. 2, it
I love
only
2.
holds up from memorabilia. 3 is fire.
1 is the best of the films.
Oh, number
no, it's
2.
not.
One is a
See, you're
one
wrong.
is a
Because isn't 2 where they have Vanilla Ice
Yes.
and they do the
2,
and they
It's-
have Tonka
and then Ragstock and Visetti, like
yeah,
the
it's
big
like
one.
it's like
yeah.
Back to the
No
Future.
one thinks 1 is good.
Back to the Future 1 is a better movie, but I love Back to the Future 2 more. You know what I'm saying? Because it came
Oh,
as
so there
like,
is
Gremlins is a better movie,
There-
but
there-
I like Gremlins 2 more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with like Terminator.
Ninja Turtles 1 is a better movie. Ninja Turtles 2 is more
But
fun.
Ninja Turtles 3 is better than both
No,
of them.
Ninja Turtles 3 is garbage, sir. When they travel through time.
Yeah.
So here's the
They
thing.
gotta go back in time.
They travel through time, which is fine. I'm not opposed to them traveling through time, but they're naked turtles that are just wearing, and then they
No, they're not.
the
They
ooze.
change places and they keep the clothing that they trade clothing with whoever they're with.
Well, what are they wearing?
So they make sure to So
Just
they
a
end up
belt.
wearing these samurais clothes, and then the samurais end up naked at their place, except for one because Mikey grabs clothes because he knows that what's going to happen.
Loves this.
were they
movie. I
naked or
love
were
it.
they wearing boxers? Because I specifically remember.
Well, they
them
were wearing their underwear. Their underwear came with them. I think
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
part of their body. Yeah.
their underwear.
It's a shell.
I think that was, as a kid, that was a deal breaker for me. I was like, oh, so their underwear travels,
Yeah.
but the rest of their clothes stay.
Yeah.
And then Casey Jones just hangs out with them the whole movie. Yeah.
But who's Casey Jones?
Who I am.
That's why you can't be Splinter.
Aw.
Me?
Yes. You don't even know who Casey Jones is.
Listen, I never claimed to watch the Ninja Turtles, guys.
Then you don't get to pick which
You don't get
turtle
to be
you are.
the sensei then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's how it works.
The guy who's watched it the least is automatically Michelangelo.
Like, oh, I'm going to be offended.
All right, talk about your dish there, Zach.
All right, so I did mine based on the Grinch. I did a roast beast and the last can of Hoo Hash. The Hoo Hash was smoking goose kitchen sink sausage. There's parsnips, golden potatoes, sweet potatoes in there. And then the roast beast, I took like a couple different types of pork loin and then like rolled them up together so they kind of had a spiral effect, and then glazed it with bacon jam.
Delicious.
That's what put me over the edge, I think, because I ate the ramen bowl, and then I was like, I don't think I can eat anymore. And then I saw it with the bacon jam, and I was like, It does look pretty good.
Yeah, it looked great. The thing that I liked that sung the most was that smoking goose sausage.
It really is delicious.
I was like, oh, man, I wish there was more of that in there. I was like searching for more of that smoking goose sausage. What was it, the kitchen sink?
Yes.
That's the best.
Oh, and I forgot that I had the smoking goose city ham and the pancetta in the ramen bowl.
Oh, I said prosciutto. It's porchetta. Yeah, it was nice and salty. It added a lot of flavor to the ramen bowl. I know ramen.
And trust me, I know ramen.
He's one of our judges at Ramen Mania.
You guys ready for Ramen Mania? Ramen Mania! Come get your ass kicked. Sorry, I was trying to be a wrestler.
I think it's good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Do wrestlers do this?
Yeah, but you just go like, buy flavor.
Buy flavor! Oh, get your ass kicked by
Yeah.
flavor.
Yeah.
What kind of
Do you
wrestling
mind if
costume
this
would
is
you wear?
your I don't want to cuss.
Why?
This is family friendly. Come and get your bottom smashed.
No.
Wait, no. Like,
That sounds worse.
Buy flavor.
buy flavor.
Gabby, you can come in.
I'm flavor. I'm gonna smash your bottom hard. No, I hate this idea. And I was like, maybe if I do it a third time, it's gonna catch on. And I hate myself for this. I'm having some issues. I need a costume to hide
Yeah,
myself.
what kind of costume would you wear if you were a wrestler?
Ooh, I'd have a cape. If
I
was
knew
a-
it. I knew you were going to give a Nacho Libre.
I'd have a cape. I would have something to circle my chest and lights.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
And you pick wherever the lights go. What would your wrestler costume be? I would love to see this. If we did a wrestling like themed something,
Yeah.
we could all be different types of wrestlers.
You could do a wrestling match at summer camp. That would be really fun if you don't have a
a
plan on
fake
it.
wrestling match with mud.
Oh my god.
A mud wrestling
I'm throwing it out there.
or a pudding wrestling.
I think Zach would wear a mask of some sort for sure.
Like a gimp mask.
What are the
Like a gimp mask or like Kane, like I think he would be nonverbal and just have a
I was born in the pudding.
he'd be nonverbal and have a scary mask on.
Yeah, what are those masks right there, the blue one?
Luchador mask.
Yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
luchador. I want like makeup where it goes out like this,
Stank
like
eye?
white. Yeah, no, just a lot of like I've seen something. And then I want what are those? My eyes to be white, so I need some white contacts. So when I it looks like I'm going back in time.
Your wrestler name is just Blown Out.
You'll be blind wrestling. You can't see through those contacts.
I don't like that. Blown out. That's something that happens to your pants after eating Taco Bell. Don't call me blown out. I don't like that one.
Hey, let's
You
try
don't
it
get
on.
to choose my names.
Let's try it
anymore.
on. If enough people say it, Blown Out.
Dyke,
He's rolling it over. He's considering
Dyke's
it.
trying to give you the silent treatment right now.
I'm trying to
Or
help
you
you
could
out.
do sumo wrestling. That would be really fun to do.
I feel like that.
It'd be hot.
Culturally, I don't know enough about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think you should do that one, definitely. I think it would play well.
You think I'd be a good Asian?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think we have a bunch of different cultures in a bucket, and then you just pull out the bucket, and then you have to make your costume.
Based on that.
Yeah.
Filipino pie!
Filipino pie.
Something. I was just pulling something out of the bucket. I know that's what we're doing. It's less racist when you pull out of the a bucket.
Blown out Filipino pie.
Yeah.
I'll just make them all like really hard, like someone who gets like
Wait, no.
Yemen. What I don't even know what this is.
We have that for arts and crafts. You can make your own costume.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll teach it.
Fishing in Yemen.
Did you talk about your dessert?
Oh, yeah. So I did mine inspired by Gremlins. There's two things I think about in Gremlins, and one of them is the movie thing where they're throwing popcorn everywhere. So I brought kettle corn from groomsmen kettle corn, and then the other thing I think about when the mom kills the gremlin in the blender, and so I made mint chocolate chip ice cream milkshakes with I put some strawberry preserves in the inside of the glass to make it look kind of gory and green and red all over.
It looked great, but it tasted really good.
It was delicious.
Like I never thought about doing strawberry and chocolate chip mint.
I'm glad it tasted good because I just kind of put them together for visual effect.
That was good. Well, red and green, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was really good though.
You did not like it. Are you not a mint?
No, I liked it.
Oh.
I just didn't have it.
That was a no. That was a
They
yes.
said
no.
everything I needed to say about it. Like I didn't
you
want
were just you were just saying no with your head though. So
I was like, you were looking at me. I'm like, I don't have anything to say.
oh, okay,
Sorry.
that makes
Like,
sense. That makes sense.
I mean, it was good. I would have liked more blood in mine, but I'm like, man, Thad, you're just a jelly whore. You know what I'm saying? I like jelly.
Okay, yeah.
So like, I was like
On the
stirring the
bottom
jelly
and the
up,
top.
and I want the jelly all over in every situation.
Jelly filled.
Yeah, that's like my donuts.
Yeah. What is your favorite donut?
Jelly,
Just jelly donuts.
just filled with like strawberry jelly. I don't like regular donuts.
What about like the cream filled ones? Are those like not the same?
Filled better than not filled.
Filled, but okay, that makes sense.
If we're just talking about glazed bread,
I like just regular
I do
glazed
too.
donuts. Yeah.
no,
I
grow
could eat
up.
1,000.
That's what I say to you guys. You guys need to come on.
Remember that time we only had donuts for breakfast that one day?
No
It
one was happy,
honest,
really.
It was with Rena Khan, and that was honestly in history the worst brunch. Because I was still hungry when we were. It was the worst brunch we've ever done, but it was nice because Rena's done it a couple times, so you could phone it in on her 4th or whatever.
That's what we do right here. 4 times the phone in.
Yeah, this is your 3rd or 2nd time on.
Twice.
We go up on the wall of shame and the 4th time.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Well, they were closing, right? They ran out of the stuff, and then guess what happened? They're not open anymore. So take that, landlocked. You don't do that to Harder Brunch. You
Pick up
understand?
business when they're down and out. man.
Yeah, you guys want to write a whole cry thing on your little magazine about how you guys couldn't make it. Guess what? You didn't make it because you served us donuts. I'm kidding, obviously. Obviously, I was super sad that it was walking distance, so I like that place. I have nothing bad to say about it.
Yeah, so if you're, a restaurant that doesn't want to serve food an hour after they're closed,
Yeah.
Okay,
you probably should be, shut down.
so if it was an hour after they're closed, why were we still welcome inside? Yeah, it wasn't an hour after they're closed.
Yeah.
I mean,
fuck them.
we weren't welcome. They just gave us some old donuts.
Listen, they can't hear us; they're dead. Okay,
That was another one of there's a couple times where Thad will step up to buy something before he knows the price of it, and then he sees the price, and you just watch it all this display take place on his face.
Did you say they're not value priced donuts?
Well, no, he was just
Definitely not.
he was just like yeah. I'll like he just wanted to be done. He was not having any of it. He's like, I'll just pay for all these donuts. And then he looks at the thing and he was like,
it's kind of like little man syndrome, but like I have big man syndrome where I'm like, I feel like I could big time people with my wallet, and then but I don't have that much in my wallet. Like this hurts me. Like I look at everybody, this is hurting me much more than it would have hurt you guys. You guys are doing it. You guys know how to save. I did this on the
trip with the smoothies or whatever, and then he shows us the tab in front of the waitress, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm fucked on a tip now."
No, this is what we have. It was Dyke's birthday. I'm like, hey man, because I did this thing where I almost ruined the whole trip. Where I forgot I left my ID at a gas station for some reason, and so we got there and they're like, it was already like downhill. We got there and they're like, we're not letting you in. And I was like, man, listen, I promise I'm over 21. Like, honey, you can't even be like inside here if you don't have your ID. So I'm like searching all over my car. I'm like thinking like I have to drive like 6 hours back just to hang out for his birthday. And I finally found like an ID, a fake ID dive. I found one that was expired or whatever. I got in. And then I'm like, hey, to make it up to everybody, I'm gonna buy drinks for everybody. So like there's these nice frozen, smoothies.
yeah.
And it cost like it was just the three of us.
It was $45 for the 3 smoothies.
Wow.
No, buddy. It was not $45. After it was done, it was $80. And I have
$80?
Because there was that extra free shot, remember?
That was separate.
Oh, that was separate.
Seriously.
It was $80 all said and done.
You saw it. Because after tax, it was 20, and then on top of everything else, it came out to be like
Tax,
$84.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, and I thought, I was like, we just started the vacation and I'm dropping $84. That's why I showed them. I was like, hey, I won't be paying for anything else.
Just, look at this.
Yeah, like, hey, you guys, hey, look at this receipt.
That's weird.
But then immediately you bought a round of shots.
The booze kicks in.
You saw what happened. She's like, hey, you guys want some shots?
She said
She got you.
She did. She's
got
like, you want
you.
to do some extra shots?
Yeah,
No, she called it
And
something.
then
It
he's
wasn't
back in
actually.
high
She
school
called
like,
it.
yes.
She called it something. She's like, "Do you guys want to do an add-on shot?" There was a name to it.
No.
Where it slightly implied that it might be
Sidecar.
free.
Yeah.
She was like, "Do you guys want to do a
Fun shots?
party shot?" I forget what it is, something, and we're like, "Sure." And then dropped 3, and then he got another $500 bill.
I was like, hey. I was like, what type of alcohol is this?
We're like, in 10 minutes, he spent $100 on drinks.
Yeah.
And we each got a slushy and like a tiny shot. They
You should
weren't.
be hammered for $100.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what type of spirit is this? Oh, a mean spirit. This is an evil spirit.
Can you drop a beat for me there, Saucy? Jess West, thank you for coming and being on the program and dining with us today.
Thank you.
We are all very excited about your new business here in Irvington, and I think it's gonna. We were talking a lot about it on the show, but we talked a lot about it before the show, and you just have so many great ideas and so much fun stuff coming down the pipe, and like. Obviously, Irvington is a witchy. It's named after Washington Irving. So like, the Headless Horseman. So it's just like October is gonna be your time to shine. We're all looking forward to it.
Me too.
People want to come check out the shop, or they want to hire you as a costume designer. Where can they find you on social media?
Jess West Costumes, and then Monsters Inc. Official.
Thaddaeus Jake.
You can find me at Thad Mckee. That's Thad Mckee, Instagram, Twitter, X, and everything else you could think of.
Zach Room.
You can follow my boy Blown Out the Wrestler on X and Instagram.
This is gross.
Casey Campbell.
You can find me documenting the exploits of that blown out wrestler. That's behind the Patreon, though. That you're going to have to go to Harder Brunch /Patreon.com.
It's not good, y'all. It's not good.
If you say it enough times, it becomes real.
Someone that has bowel issues as a wrestler, no.
No, that doesn't have to be what it is. It could be the good kind of blown out.
Yeah.
What is that, Zach?
I'll leave
What
that up
color
to
is
you.
your outfit gonna be?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought blown out just generally meant like out of shape and like you're not a good wrestler. Like that's a wrestling term. Like if you're blown out in
Blown
wrestling, it's like you're winded. You're out of gas.
That's face.
I mean, I wasn't vying for that to be your name. I'm just saying that's what that be. Thank you guys for listening so much.
I thought blown out was like when you got your back blown out.
Well, that's something else.
Oh, your ass blown out.
Is that what you wanted to be your theme?
But can you blow out your own back?
I mean,
You mean throw your back out, or
Yeah,
like
I
blow
will.
your own back out?
I
What are you
can
doing
definitely
here?
throw my back out. Slow down now. Oh.
Like, blow your back.
Yeah.
Blow your back. Something like that. Yeah, I kind of like it.
You said you were going to blow my back out. I said I was going to throw my back out.
Ma'am, you misheard me.
Ma'am. All right. I don't know what happened. We lost it at the end here.
It's funny.
Shout out. Thank you, Jess West, for being here. And we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.